Alright, let's do it. Okay, everybody's prepared. We got pencils. We all got to attack it, right? Okay, so today we're going to talk about Constitution. Andy, do you know what the Constitution is?
Yeah,
What is it?
Constitution.
You
Like
help them out?
laws.
Laws? Good, right, so the Constitution is our foundation of our government. And the part of it we're going to talk about today is the Bill of Rights. So, here are our objectives for today. We're going to try to keep it simple, keep it straightforward, right? So we want to know 10 amendments. There are 10 that we need to know in the Bill of Rights, okay? We need to describe them and what they do for us. We need to understand why they're important, all right? If at any time during this presentation someone has a question, feel free to raise your hand. If I'm going too fast, just let me know, all right? So, here are some important words to remember, all right? You pay attention, buddy? Right? Big one, the Constitution. We're just talking about that. Constitution is our written set of rules. It tells how our country is run, what rights people have. Okay? So, it also tells the government what it can and cannot do. All right? So, one of the blanks on your page there, the United States Constitution was written in 1787. It went into effect in 1788. Okay, you guys will probably learn a little bit more about the Constitution. This lesson is just about the Bill of Rights, but in your ingenuity, you'll learn more about the Constitution and how that came about. Okay, so an amendment here, an amendment, right? That is a change to the Constitution. If we want to, the Constitution is a legally binding document. If we want to change it, there's a whole process of a thing called ratification, which is a big word. You don't really need to remember it right now, but it just means that we get a majority of the states and the representatives to agree on that change. Okay. So, like we talked about, the first 10 of these amendments to the Constitution are called the Bill of Rights. And that's the big thing today that we're worried about. It's the Bill of Rights.
Should I just stick with you because I'm doing the same thing you do?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to think
I'm in Massachusetts Constitution.
I've got an extra copy if you like that.
There's big.
Hey.
What's this not us? It's not for grant.
No, this is just for my classmate.
So Raphael, I'd recommend you sticking with your work. It's towards graduation, your work.
Yeah.
So I'd open up the laptop back.
What would be the point of like doing this? Like,
That's easy.
I say
I'm so sorry. I could solve that because you're trying to graduate.
yeah.
So, rights are something that every person in America is promised, right? Constitution we have constitutional rights, and that is a promise that every person gets to do things like being treated fairly, being able to speak freely, or you have a right to go to school. Rights protect us and keep us safe. Okay. On your page there's a box, and it asks you a few examples of rights. So can anybody tell me one that's not on the screen here? Well, right.
First Amendment?
What does the First Amendment mean?
I
Right?
don't know. I know it's the Second Amendment.
What does the Second Amendment let you do?
Isn't it like, lets you do, like, vote or something?
Oh. It's a pretty hot topic one. First Amendment is freedom of speech. Second Amendment is right to bear arms, but we'll talk more about that later. Okay, so just in your box there, you can put the right to vote or the right to be treated fairly, anything like that.
What if we just don't replace it with?
Well, we're gonna do some activities afterwards, so I think that it would be wise to fill in the blanks. No, we're gonna have a Kahoot. We're gonna do some discussion. So it is important that you fill in those blanks. That's why I made the page for you. So this blank right here,
This one?
this one is Constitution. CON STI TUTIO. Rights. Has everybody else got their blanks filled in? Any questions so far? Good. So. We're gonna do a little warm-up activity, all right? I've got a timer here on the board for you. The question is, what rights do you think everyone in America should have? These don't have to be one from the Constitution. If you don't know, just what things do you think everyone who lives here should be able to do? Okay? Vote. Well, put that on your box.
Good one.
Right, as many as you can think of, and then we're gonna share when we're done.
That's a good one, Martin.
Thank you. What if I don't know?
Just do your best. Think of anything that you think everyone in America should be able to do.
On this blank?
On
Jesus.
this point, see, warm-up activity right here. What rights do you think everyone should have? In this box.
Can I start from up there?
Go ahead. Some good ones, Marty. We'll talk more about those later.
Oh, I think I really.
What other things do you think everybody should be able to do? Mhm. Anything you can think of, what?
Yeah.
I like that one, Jason. Oh, very good. I kind of put that with that in mind. Everyone in America, and that's just everyone, you know, citizen wise, just everyone that's here, you know. I agree with that. About 10 seconds left. I want to wrap it up. We can share a few. All right. Bella, do you want to share what you wrote?
The right to go to school.
Right to go to school is very important. There are some places in the world where you don't have that guaranteed right to go to school. Andy, what's up?
They should be able to do what they wanna do, everybody.
Everybody?
And, well, some, not prisoners, stuff like that. But, and people should not be deported for the color of their skin.
That is true.
Good one.
Should have a right to be here. And I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think Casey, you had something similar. You want to build on what Andy said?
Being able to become American without being hard or. Certain reasons, find disability and stuff.
There's definitely a hot button issue right now. There's some things like birthright citizenship, you know, you get citizenship for being born here, that are kind of being debated at the moment, but I agree. I think that, you know, they call us a melting pot for a reason. America is a country of immigrants, so I think that people should have protections when they're looking. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. I like that. Very good discussion. Let's see. Presentation beginning with stuff. There we go. All right, so on to the main idea here. Bill of Rights. This is on your worksheet. Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the US Constitution, okay? These amendments explain important protections and freedoms that you have as a citizen, okay? So some of these we already talked about. They're phrased a little differently, right? When you have the right to speak freely, we call that freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They're kind of more official way to say that. Instead of saying I can own a gun, you would say I have the right to bear arms. So that's how it is in the legalese. Okay. But the first of these amendments, this is probably the most important one, right? This is what America is known for. The First Amendment, right? We got Martin Luther King here peacefully protesting. We got this image here looks like a Vietnam protest. They're protesting the war. And not everywhere in the world you're going to see that, because there are places where that's not allowed. You're not allowed to speak your mind like we are here. So, First
Have
Amendment.
you heard of LA right now, Los Angeles? I wouldn't go there, I told them,
You have the right to peacefully protest. If the protests get a little dicey, then,
they're not peacefully protesting, they're busting cops' windows out.
so that's not protected.
Throwing Molotovs at them, like those little
Right.
glass bottles with gasoline and a rag over it.
So. Like I said, your right to speak freely, we call that freedom of speech, okay? I don't need you to know the big words I'm saying, I just need you to know speak freely on your page there, right? But I just want to tell y'all that that's what it's called, because you might hear it later on in life, later on in school, okay?
Well, so how do I write this?
So you get
Just
your.
write these words?
Yeah, so the First Amendment protects your right to speak freely, practice any religion. We call that freedom of religion.
Wait, what all wrote that?
On the bottom of the first page.
Under like if there's instructions, so and then it
Instructions.
says the Bill of Rights.
Right here.
And
Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments. And you've got individual spaces for each word there. So, right, you wrote speak freely, it's good. We can practice any religion. We can share our ideas, even if not everybody agrees with them. We have the right to meet in groups. That's called the right to peacefully assemble or peacefully protest. That's what they're doing here in both of these, actually. They're allowed to get together and ask the
Well,
government
no,
to make changes.
Actually,
Hang on, dude.
they're not protesting in that picture. What they're actually doing is showing who they actually did.
So this is called the March on Washington, and they are marching on Washington to ask them to change the laws because black people were being treated unfairly. And so a lot of people got together and marched in the street peacefully to petition the government to change the laws so they couldn't be treated that way anymore. And that is a powerful use of your First Amendment right. Okay. That's one you probably all know. Second Amendment. This is your right to bear arms, the right of Americans to own and carry firearms. And the Second Amendment is also a hot button issue. It's debated, the government they can change how you can buy guns and they can change how you can carry guns, but they can't take away your right to have one.
Yeah, but it feels like that's what liberals try.
Yeah, well, that's why I say it's a hot button issue. Okay. Third Amendment, you might not know.
Dude, you're
This is a little
skipping.
old. Okay, that's fine.
I'm not very good.
You need me to go that?
But
Alright. Anybody else need more time? We should be starting with the Third Amendment on the top of page 2.
good.
Right here, Martin. What's the Second Amendment? Value that? It's the word for guns, firearm. Okay, Anthony, you said you're good? All right, on to the Third Amendment. So, this is an old one, because during and before the Revolutionary War, the British were forcing American colonists to house their soldiers without their permission. So, the Third Amendment says soldiers cannot live in people's homes without their permission. Okay. So that should also be on your sheet. Every slide we got on here, there should be a link to build. I tried to be as cohesive as I could with it. Maybe that's gonna be at the top of page 2, everybody. So, not live in people's homes. Kind of crazy to think about. Okay. Next, Fourth Amendment. This is also very, very important. Fourth Amendment protects people from a thing called unfair searches and seizures. So on your page there, it's gonna ask you, what is a seizure? Has anybody ever heard of that? What is it, Casey?
Say. It's you get pulled over, if they're searching you, like your vehicle, making sure you don't have to move. Like, got your permission, firearms and everything, sure it's illegal, and you don't go like drugs. That's like 6 you don't have to.
That's right.
Cause.
They have to have what's called reasonable suspicion, that's right. So if they pulled you over and your car smelled a certain way, or you were driving kind of crazy, that might give them reasonable suspicion to search. But somebody couldn't just come into your house because Andy said he had something, you know, they would have to go to the judge. Judge would have to give them something called a warrant, right? Judge has to sign the warrant, and then the police are allowed to come and search. But before that point, they can't just act on what's called hearsay, right? They can't just, oh, Andy said the case had this.
They can do a go to sobriety,
And,
like, but you don't have to consent.
right, but I believe, I'm not concrete on this, but I believe they would need reasonable suspicion that you were. Right, that's.
Also, if they ask you for driver's license, to give it to them.
Swear.
If you for speeding, and for speeding, if you're speeding, just give them your driver's license.
We were just talking about seizure, right? Seizure is when they try to take levies.
So I think difficult. Yeah, let's make it arrested.
Fourth Amendment is important for getting arrested. There's quite a few of these amendments
Is
that
the
we're gonna
Fifth
talk about.
Amendment? Yeah, but you're like right to silence. Or is-
I believe so. I think
I
that's-
thought so, because like when you plead the fifth, you're saying you're not gonna speak that whole time.
We'll talk more about that on the next.
That's the next one.
So like, say for instance, there's these people, I've been seeing a lot of people, doing this up lately, is that legal? Is that allowed, not giving their license registration or anything, just like suspicious?
You know, I don't know all the details on that, but
Probably though.
Information on the policy, you figure out who you was again.
we're gonna talk more about that in just a second. There are a few things I don't wanna touch on quite yet until we get there, but I will address that later on.
That's what I've been hearing a lot of, like, well, it's an Fourth Amendment, I don't have to. What's bullcrap, you just did 80 to 60 on them. Working construction, you're gonna hit someone.
Is everybody ready to move on to the next slide? So, the Fifth Amendment. This is your right to fair treatment in court. So, Haysom was just talking about your Fifth Amendment, right? When you say, I plead the Fifth, you have a right against something called self-incrimination, right? So, the police can't make you confess. They can't like bully you into saying that you did something. So, you have a right against being forced to confess, being tried twice for the same crime. And you have this thing called your right to due process. And I have a definition here. Due process, like they have to go through the full thing every time the government wants to deprive you of life, liberty, or property. Liberty meaning like your ability to be free, your ability to do what we do with our rights. They have to go through the due process of the law every single time.
They've been doing that, they've been talking that rule a lot.
Well, you know, if someone deprives you of your constitutional right, you can go to court. There's been plenty of landmark court cases that have led to further amendments because someone's constitutional rights have been violated.
Wait, you can be tried twice.
You cannot be tried twice for the same crime. Maybe you do.
I mean, unless you do it again, I suppose, so.
I was gonna have to say.
Separate crime though.
You're on the board, the Fifth Amendment.
It's like murder, to do murder and get away with it, and have the right resources, pay the fine.
See, commission
Like
by a
that,
judge,
get away with it,
judge.
you can get away with it, but like, that second time you do it, yeah, you go.
As soon as everybody gets done right, just show me your eyes, I'll know we're ready to move on.
This box, you just put this right here. This is the first one. Maybe try twice. Fairly easy.
Unless you do
I just got
murder.
a copy what's on the board. That first little bullet
Well,
point,
you can't be tried twice for this.
you tried twice, that's all.
Well, not the same murder, I'm saying you kill another person.
While we're waiting, I'll give an example. There was a case called the Chicago Five. There was these,
Can't be tried.
or sorry, the Central Park Five, that's my bad. There was a woman who was murdered in a park, and these five boys were suspected of the crime because they happened to be in the area and they were black.
That's racist.
It is racist. This was in the, I think, the 1970s or 80s, and part of the reason why we have a right against being forced to confess is that these boys were separated by their interrogators, by the police, and made to believe that they had told on each other. And so they confessed to the crime. Those confessions were used against them in court, even though they had nothing to do with it, right? So that was a violation of their Fifth Amendment right. So now, because of that, we have that protection. You cannot be forced to confess, right?
Because of that, so that.
Oh, yeah, and like us as like minors, they're not allowed to talk to us unless if we have like if they have, we have a parent or guardian or attorney present, or
Right.
they have like.
A lot of those guys that they talked about were really young. They probably needed to have a parent in the room to understand what was going on.
I feel like freedom of speech is a little iffy every now and then, it's like, there's a certain level of. Not to sound communist or anything, there's a lot of debate on whether like, okay, well, is this free or not? Like,
There's some things you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater.
yeah,
You know, there are some things freedom of speech does not protect you
Your
against.
writing is different.
like
from-
you saying the N word in public, it would, that would be.
That's inciting.
Yeah,
You can't incite with your freedom of speech.
the court will overrule that and say, you know what? If you're just gonna sign.
That's a little bit in the past, sir.
Right here.
We're gonna go ahead and take a little brain break, okay? So, get this timer here. We're gonna take a 5-minute break before we can move on, okay? So if anybody needs help getting caught up,
Yeah, could you go back to the slides of
We get water.
the police need permission, the search seizures?
advice.
Everyone's doing a really good job, but they're not, I appreciate all this, huh? Yeah.
That's.
Oh, we're not there yet.
But this is.
No, the fifth was due process.
So it's 6.
Yeah, we're not at the 6 yet, so you should be right at the brain break. If you need help with any of the other stuff, you let me know.
Here, you put warrant, W-A-R-R-A-N-T. That's an important, that's something we're gonna need to know later. So an amendment is a change. You put change or. We're gonna give it 1787. This one, rights, rights are things every person is promised in the Constitution. These are some fun facts. This is a brain break, so you don't really have to be too in depth here, but we have 27 amendments to our Constitution. It's happened 27 times. The last time was in 1992, and it actually was proposed in 1789. It took them over 200 years to get that thing through. And what that amendment dealt with is when Congress members' salaries can change. So it can't happen until what's called the midterm elections, right? The elections for the House and the Senate. So that was the last time we did. Anybody think of another amendment that we haven't talked about already?
I'm at 16 on my government parliament thing. Can I ask it? This will do, or should I retake it?
Continue
Can you?
if you can.
Go on,
You're a high schooler, do you know something we talked about already?
We haven't talked about. There's a couple, the 15th amendment.
You remember what the 15th Amendment was? I know that the 13th Amendment was, ban slavery. That was the deal. 13th Amendment makes slavery illegal in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Raphael, see if you can click. Can you move on?
No,
All right. Well, hey, we'll do that during third. Go to a new subject.
could do better.
Good note taking, guys. Looks good.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, in your fourth, fifth, and sixth, I think amendment rights are pretty important, especially if you ever get any kind of trouble, stuff you want to know.
Hey, I gotta quiz again.
Good luck.
Should I start it or no?
No. Definitely start it, and then I'll look over it.
It's for economics.
Perfect. Use your notes.
That's probably about for economics.
You might need a do the best you can, Raphael. You might need a calculator, so I'll get you.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's for finance.
All right. Good luck.
We got about a minute left in our brain break.
Can I use the bathroom for I think like this much. This much.
Canteen. I want a bottle at home today.
I like that.
Use the bathroom afternoon.
Gotta catch up. Back. Actually, Martin, why don't you hold off? All right. We'll get through real quick and then, when we get to the scenario part, I'll let you do that. So we're gonna talk about the next 5 amendments. Then we're gonna get together for a scenario discussion. We're gonna talk about the different scenarios. That's a brain break. And then we're gonna finish with a Kahoot and an exit activity, okay? All right,
Mm-hmm.
so here we have the 6th Amendment. 6th Amendment protects your right to a speedy and public trial.
This is right into the brain break, guys.
Right under the brain break should be a dash across your paper. You have a right to a lawyer, or sometimes they're called an attorney. You ever hear something called your Miranda rights?
Again,
When you get arrested, they say anything you say can't well be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. Get a court one wouldn't be provided for you. That's part of it.
Say was like.
Right.
6th Amendment.
And you have a right to know what you're accused of, which is why Raphael was talking about like sometimes people won't give a police officer their information until they know what the crime is. What was I doing? You know,
And they have to tell you.
they do have to tell you. It's your constitutional right.
And like if you're being arrested, they have to put it.
Yeah. Martin, can you tell me what accused means?
Like it just. Making some.
If I accuse you of stealing my laptop, what am I?
Oh. Just saying that I took the laptop.
Right, yeah, it's what I put was you're suspected of a crime. That means like, I think you did it. Okay,
So again, right? So Mr. Porter, just answer that in the box, right? In the box, you just answered, what does accused mean, right?
Can you use the table, the standing table? Sorry. For this.
accused.
Well, he's getting recorded, so no, just not right now.
What?
He's getting recorded right now.
Gotcha.
But if you want to go over there, just stand.
I got you.
We're getting through it.
In that box, the bottom right of the TV, you can see right there. What does accused mean? It's right there, being suspected of a crime.
I'll show me your eyes when you're ready to move on. Everybody ready? Okay, The Seventh Amendment, similar, but this one protects your right to trial by jury in what's called a civil case. That's a blank on your page there, civil case, okay? Civil case is a disagreement over money or property between people and businesses. So, if you. Pretty much anything that's not like a criminal offense, so not like stealing or murder or anything like that. But if maybe like a car accident, that's not a crime, right? But it is a disagreement. So if you had to go to court over something like that, it would be in a civil court. And the Seventh Amendment would protect your right to a trial by jury. Does everybody know what a jury is? We've seen that on TV, group of people that gets together in the courtroom and they decide with the judge how to rule on the decision, how to rule what's gonna happen. Okay. Eighth Amendment protects people from cruel and unusual punishment. And from having to pay an unfairly high bail, okay? Bail is money that you give to the court as a promise that you're gonna come back for your trial.
Not that.
Hmm.
I said if not, if you don't come back, I care about. Some stuff.
It will,
Yeah.
right? Eighth Amendment's a big one too. It's also a hot button issue because we have things like people debate is the death penalty cruel and unusual, you know, like there's a lot of discussion over that. Because.
I'm still on the Seventh Amendment.
Okay. What are you missing on the Seventh Amendment?
All of that.
All you gotta write for the Seventh Amendment is the word civil. It's CIVIL. You put that thing? And then you're also gonna put that word right here. CIVIL. Eighth Amendment protects people from cruel or unusual punishment.
My
Cruel or unusual punishment.
whole
Cruel. CRUEL. Unusual. It's for bail. Bail is money. You have to pay as a promise to come back. Alright. Just gonna give y'all a warning, this next word is kind of a long one, so you're gonna need self-spelling. Glad to be here, but. The Ninth Amendment, so this says that people have rights that are not necessarily listed in the Constitution. There's a box on your page here, you're gonna fill this out. It says, these rights are called unenumerated rights. That's really a fancy word for, it's not like necessarily written on the page, but you still have. Unenumerated. This part. Unenumerated.
Oh, I know. And people have, I'd say,
Not listed.
unenumerated on the next page over in the box.
Right,
You're good. You guys are doing great.
that's really what unenumerated means, not listed.
Right,
How's everybody doing? Good?
You just put your name on this. Not.
Alright, this is the last amendment, okay, the last of the Bill of Rights. The 10th Amendment. 10th Amendment says, any powers not given to the federal government belongs to the states or the people. Okay, Bella, you know what the word federal means? Somebody help her out.
Federal's like you have, right, like,
One part of it.
like the columns. Well, I click words.
So
And
the police and the court are part of the executive branch, which is the government. But when I say federal, I really mean national, like the top of the top, president, Congress, everybody like that. That's the federal government. We have state governments and we have like local governments. When you say federal, we mean the national government.
Mhm.
I believe there's a box for that on your page as well.
Go in the box, guys.
Okay. For this next part, I want you all to get together in a group. Move your desks if you like. Everybody can be together, help each other out, okay? Or, I mean, if y'all just want to sit where you're at and talk across the room, that's fine. But we're gonna do this together as a group, okay? So. Consider this, right? First scenario here, we have Maria. And she writes an article in her school newspaper criticizing her principal's new rules. The principal tries to stop that article from being published. Which amendment protects Maria's right to publish her article? In the speech, right? You know which amendment that is? First. That's right. Does
Nice.
everybody agree with that?
Nice work.
First Amendment. Andy, you just want to fill that in? First Amendment protects Maria's right to publish her article. Okay? I believe that is not freedom of publication, it's something.
Give it to you.
Okay,
Think I'm gonna be.
our next scenario. James is arrested for stealing a bike. During his trial, he asks for a lawyer, but the court refuses to provide. Which amendment is being
Can I
violated?
go to the bathroom?
The second,
You get time, just give it this time anyway. What do I do?
is it the fifth?
What do you think? What does your note say about the Fifth Amendment? Not the second. What do you think, Bella?
The Fifth Amendment.
Bruh, I just completed a test.
Jason, tell us why you think it's the Fifth.
What in the
Amendment.
world?
Because
Oh, you
the
gotta
Fifth
try again.
Amendment protects-
I'm not doing this again, bro. Like, I've genuinely tried.
Well, I did watch, you know, you weren't all the way down.
What do you mean I wasn't all the way down?
Or like I was looking. And
Okay,
some of those.
I do agree that the Fifth
Well, here
Amendment
we
is
start.
mostly about,
We're-
but,
I'll click
yes,
it.
that was actually the Sixth Amendment.
All of the basics.
The Sixth Amendment protects your right to, remember, a speedy public trial, your right to a lawyer and a jury.
So which one is it?
The Sixth
I know,
Amendment.
but- Here's- What you're looking through, your nose, making sure you had all the answers right, because they were.
Sixth Amendment.
Right.
There's quite a few in the middle there, they're all about court. So I feel like
So we're just kind of looking at the paper, there was some stuff on the paper, and like you weren't really like locked in.
That's a few scenarios
That's the
left.
difference.
Well, I lose points or no?
Well, no,
This
you're
one's
losing
the
point,
fourth.
but how can I help you on the quiz
This one,
when you're not using those?
police want to search Sarah's.
We'll do it again during
locker at
third.
School,
Yeah, that's
but they don't have a warrant for any reason to believe she has done something wrong. Which amendment protects Sarah from the search? Fourth Amendment.
Fourth, very nice.
I agree. Fourth Amendment, no one can pull searches or seizures without a warrant. Do we remember who we have to get a warrant from?
And
Judge.
Judge, good job. Is everybody ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right,
Like, 'cause it's-
last one here. Mark is charged with a crime and forced to pay an extremely high bail amount that he cannot afford.
The Eighth
Which
Amendment.
amendment might be violated?
eight,
The Eighth.
Do you agree, Bella? Eighth Amendment? I agree. Eighth Amendment. Very good. Okay. For next activity, we pull this up real fast. We're gonna do a Kahoot, so if everyone can get their computers out. We'll go to Kahoot. Keep it going with it.
You wanna keep it going?
Yeah, do the whole thing. Hopefully everybody's computers work today. Andy, we're doing a Kahoot now, so if you'd like.
Wait, so can I use the bathroom real quick?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, I missed it. Oh,
It's okay. You want me to help
I
you out?
tried my best.
You want to participate in that?
Well, I'm not getting no points this time.
It's on your points. I just like to see you participate.
It made me angry, like you had everything unwritten.
Well, you know, I tried to do blanks, so all you had to write was 1 or 2 words. You didn't like that? Would you rather I didn't have anything there? Would you write the whole thing down? I didn't have anything? Well, next time, maybe I can get you a piece of paper and we can do that. Okay? That'd be good. Wait for Mark to get back in here. And we'll start our Kahoot.
That looks like it, Bella. They're animals. Yeah, you're a monster.
What time will we leave in here? 10, 11, 10?
I'm not sure. That sounds about right.
Well, bruh.
Let's make sure everybody keeps it appropriate. Remember, we're on recording. Andy, you might have to reconnect to your Wi-Fi. I was having an issue with that.
No, their Wi-Fi's good. Not your Wi. Mmm.
One time, Martin, I got it. Big Martin out there. It was being tricky, but we're working on it. What, where you? Andy? Okay, so yours not working?
No.
Hmm. Okay. What if?
No internet.
Yeah, my laptop.
Alright, well, if it's gonna be
I'm
done, we can do it as a group.
No, wait, it's working now.
5:36.
It's cause it's connected to deploy.
Yeah, make sure it's connected to MCS and your Wi-Fi.
Cannot connect to this internet. Oh,
Alright, I'm in.
And Martin and Bella look like they're in.
couldn't stay on
Wait.
task.
Art.
What am I doing this on? No, it's not that, I'm still gonna stay on that.
What? It's only doing is the Wi-Fi.
I should have just stayed on the.
No. Play football with myself. Yeah, cause no one was here. Landon had a baby. Every day that you miss, he has missed. And I'm not allowed to miss today.
I'm not either. I don't know how much it is, but I do not know.
Wow, when it says, yeah, look.
Here comes the demo. Jason, is yours working?
No.
Alright, you wanna work together with Martin?
Yeah.
Andy, you wanna work together with Bella since yours is good?
Yeah, I'll work with her.
Alright. We got 2 teams now.
Oh, 2 3.
Right. Let's do it.
Dude, I can't play.
Okay, just put your desk over there with Bella and you two can work together, come up with the answer. That's your chair.
Already know that.
Best cats. You don't know all the answers.
Thank you. Let's keep it perfect.
Yes, sir.
You're the one that got cooked in bucket, so.
Alright, let's everybody get set down, get ready for the activity. Okay, we're gonna start. We are starting.
Or glasses, even in short. Like that.
What's that other question?
Bill O'Brien is what we just talked about. This amendment protects your right to bear arms.
Forgot, I don't know.
Bear arms,
I don't remember.
have guns.
Yes.
It's just cigarettes. I got.
Hey, we got that.
Alright, the second
It's
amendment.
No, the one
That protects your right to bear arms, to carry weapons, okay?
You click on it.
What is that? Oh,
Alright, next question, Martin's in the lead, Martin Casey.
No, he's cheating. He's cheating.
This amendment gives you
Just kind of-
unenumerated rights, remember that big word, unenumerated? Which amendment gives you your unenumerated rights?
One of these.
You can use your notepad, it's in there,
I know, but it's.
yeah, we buy it. It's in sentence.
unenumerated, this is the value, take a note.
No, the ninth.
The
I did take notes, I just don't remember.
Let's go.
Amendment,
So.
I don't,
does anybody remember what unenumerated meant?
we win.
No, when I actually got it correct.
Alright, now we're about to cook, Martin, watch this.
The rights that are not listed.
Rights that are not listed, thank you, Case. Everybody hear that? Unenumerated, the rights that are not
In this
listed.
community, did a great job and my prediction is even better.
End a little early. We went into the period, thank you guys.
You